of the Federation did reveal that the increase of the prices is as a result of the skyrocketing prices of fuel and the other commodity prices that have risen up. So for them as the taxi operators also need to meet up family needs and therefore had to increase the prices to meet up with the skyrocketing prices. Let's have the details of this report.
Prices is one of the major problems facing Ugandans today. Everything in Uganda today have risen due to the escalating fuel price. As a means of remaining in business, especially on the side of the transport sector, the federation that brings together the taxi industry have decided together with the Ministry of Works and Transport to increase the fares both for the short distance and long distance. Ambala Mustafa, the vice chairperson of VUTOF, says that they had nothing to do, but as a mechanism of remaining in business, they had no option other than to increase on the fare.
Omudidi gw'ensimbi naye obuzibu obunene obwaleese enkyukakyuka eno kwe kubeera nti ebbeeyi y'amafuta kati wekituuse esusse obw'omulamuzi.
Embala has also said that the new fares said is going to operate countrywide.
Yonna gye tukoze oba entegeka yonna gye tukoze ebeera ekwata mu netiwaaka ya taxi mu ggwanga lyonna countrywide. Sigamba nti kino kye twakoze kikoma mu Kampala. However,
Kilabira Peter, the vice chairperson of the old tax park, says it's not the obligation of the federation to make such changes affect everybody.
Bw'onoobirinyisa ng'ogamba nti mbirinyisiza lwa mafuta, essaawa ya leero lita bw'ebeera ebadde ku 3,600 oba ebadde ku 4,000 emabega neeyongeramu kusaabaza omu n'omwongeza 1,000, emmotoka etika abantu 15 egenda e Busia, kitegeeza emmotoka emu eyongeza ku bannayuganda 15 emitwalo 10 n'emeka.
Wasaja Jude, also the vice chairperson of Kansanga Stage, also says that it is the administration of the stage operators to set the new changes. Of the tax fares, reports have previously indicated that the reason for the escalating fuel prices is due to the crisis that is ongoing between Russia and Ukraine, and therefore stakeholders now have appealed to government to look into this matter to avoid putting the country in.
And now there you have it, and surely there you've definitely got the situations as far as we are concerned. The taxi fares are greatly increasing. Case in point here, let's for example take Kajansi. People living from Kajansi to town have been getting it from 2,000 to town. And then going back 3,000. Now prices have increased from 3,000 from Kajansi to town, then getting back 3,000 still. So that shows you that in some of the areas they've actually increased 1,000. They've topped up to 1,000. They've actually, for a distance that you've been moving 1,000, it's now 2,000. The distance that has been moving at 2,000 is now 3,000. The distance of 3,000 is now 4,000. The one of 4,000, 5,000. So clearly, unless when you have some bargaining power that the conductor can clearly say, okay, let me just take you. That also depends on whether the day hasn't been fairly good for him, and he literally sees that driving an empty taxi to town means nothing. If at all he can pick a 2,000 from you. And also maybe you add a 500 shillings. So those are some of the things that is actually happening because the fuel price is shooting. If you look at some of the fuel prices in some of the stations are having petrol at 5,500, others at 5,400. Then diesel has already shoot up to 5,000, and it's now 5,100, 5,200. So that shows you how the escalating prices of fuel have also affected other sectors. Not only that, but the commodity prices have also increased greatly. And we didn't mention, and not in my ever imagination had I even thought about it, that a bar of soap would shoot up to 8,000. Never had I ever thought of that. But then when you look at some of the details that happened quite earlier, back in the time, I was once told a kilo of sugar also shoot up to 2,000 to 7,000 rather, or a time when Kenya was actually facing the post-election conflict. After that, remember, Kenya is actually also having elections in August. So a lot of things are happening. But when you look at this situation, this is a year of recovery. But how are we going to recover with these prices shooting up every other day? And how is a local Ugandan going to survive from this one? With Ugandans who only survive on a daily meal, or Ugandans who actually survive by actually having only one meal a day, or only surviving on 5,000, let's say 10,000 a day, or getting only the best they can get is 10,000, others living below $1, others living below $2. So clearly it is a very huge alarming situations for the Ugandans. It's in Uganda here, whereby some people will actually choose to be employed than being self-employed, because it comes with a lot when you're self-employed with this ongoing and high fuel prices and high